Hey, Cersei here, bringing you another episode of Gaming Archaeology. So today we're going into I think this is a pretty obscure NES game called The Adventures of Dino Riki, which, as you can see, is a scrolling shooter type of game with kind of an unusual theme, where you're this caveman boy, cave boy, just kind of running around shooting dinosaurs with what are those? I'll be honest, there's a lot of head-scratching sprites in this game, and a lot of iffy design decisions. We'll get to that in a moment. But yeah, I figured I wanted to touch on this one because this is one of those games that you grow up with as a kid, and then you just kind of forget about it. And so this is, oh Jesus, come on! I want to get the good weapons. I died. Where was I? Yeah, so we come up on this lily pad here, and god damn. I'm not super great at this game, by the way. I haven't really practiced it a whole lot. Where the oddity of the design comes into play is they decided to integrate a sort of rudimentary platforming into their scrolling shooter. So that's a bad decision. It was not good, because if you fall in the water, you just die. You just instantly die and you're completely screwed, and it sucks. This game, like I'm not making a super good showing of it, but the actual like shooting stuff, fighting, dodging bullets is not super difficult, but you can very easily roadblock on the first level. Just because of the upcoming water section, where you have to leap across lily pads. And this gets even messier when you consider that those boot power-ups make you go faster. And hold on, I'm going to go ahead and just preemptively save state. Usually getting to go faster is a pretty good thing. You're more mobile. But you have a... What? Hold on. I think I can actually... I think I have limited flying, so well, it's really limited flying, I guess. You have this very, like, short jump. And your speed doesn't change, is still the same as it is normally when you jump, which means that if you're going very fast, you are having a much harder time. Jesus Christ, a much harder time making precise leap. Oh my God, come on! I think I made the right decision with save states here. I didn't even get to use my what is it even with that? I really don't know what the thought process was here, other than draw out the rather short game with some bullshit, because the platforming aspect of this game is not at all additive. It's just like it's a whole different thing from like what you're doing the rest of the game, like shooting and dodging and stuff, and it's just not fun. Really, is the big thing. It's not fun. It's more difficult than everything else, surrounding it. We're gonna go ahead and save state. No, save state. Did it go? I don't think it goed. Hello? My save state? Come on. What the heck? Well, okay, I made a mess of that. I don't know what was going on there. Maybe I was pressing control. It's okay. You guys don't mind spending a little bit more time in the pond, right? This is what happens when I abuse save states. It's bad. It's real bad. But yeah, this is a pretty simple game. I think with save state abuse, I could probably beat it in this episode. So, you know, it's fine. For, you know, a kid growing up in the 90s, this is a game you can kind of just sit in front of and waste some time on it when you're bored. It's really interesting thinking back how the way that we play games has definitely changed, you know, compared to the 90s when this was as advanced as it got. And I don't know, you know, how you play games as an adult is influenced by, I am save stating. I think I just pressed the wrong key combination. How you play games as an adult is different from how you play games as a kid. So I don't know how the experiences of kids who are my age now as I was in the 90s, you know, feel about, you know, how their experience of the game differs from mine. I'm gonna feel really old, you know, thinking back to back in my day, we just had to entertain ourselves with this crap. And then for my part, I couldn't imagine how anyone entertained themselves before there were video games. So it's a constant process of flooding the world with increasing more entertainment, making generations having a harder and harder time connecting with each other. But no, it is interesting because you, at the very least, when you kind of had fewer games available. I mean, nowadays, if you get bored of a game, even if you don't have a lot of cash to spend, you could literally just trawl the internet for games. You could play a game every 5 minutes if you wanted. But I mean, when I had my NES, you know, you just have like maybe a half a dozen games. You know, you've seen the first like 5 minutes of this game 100 times, but you just pop it in, see how far you can get. I mean, that's how I beat Ghosts and Goblins. And that was an ordeal. We don't need to feature Ghosts and Goblins on this show. Everyone knows about that game. But yeah, I don't think I ever beat this one, but I think it might only have 4 levels. It's really a game built for well, I mean, it's built for beating the shit out of you, so you never get to the end. It's a very arcade sensibility. You know, it's something we see a lot of. This is an interesting thing when I talk about using save states to kind of shore up a game's weaknesses. We have this problem where games like this weren't really meant. It doesn't play to their strengths to be able to have a you know, kind of fake a modern checkpointing system. With, speaking of which, don't think I checkpointed yet on this level. Yeah, these games were not designed around that kind of modern checkpointing system and tend to be, a lot of them, really short if you do that, which, you know, I guess to an extent, you can't really experience games anymore the way that you did back then. I mean, maybe you can, if you have the patience, but I mean, unless a game like really grabs me, I just don't have time to sit with it and practice for hours at a time on the first, you know, level. I guess the games that I do that with now are you know, the hyper difficult ones like Toho, where it feels like it's worth the investment, and I guess that's kind of where that type of experience went. And the fact that that's become kind of a niche, I mean, that's something a lot of people, you know, people my age who grew up with NES games kind of lament, but I think it's probably a good and ultimately inevitable thing that's going to become niche. I mean, when people have other options, they're just not going to choose to put that kind of investment into mastering a game. I mean, some people are always going to be into that, but it does games a disservice to act like that's the natural state of video games, just because that's kind of what we started with. So maybe to an extent there's not really a place for games like this as much anymore. I mean, you know, maybe as a short distraction, Or, you know, maybe that's not true, because I mean, speedrunners a lot of time will kind of give these games a new life, and kind of play them the way you did as a kid, building your experience around mastery, and a kind of mastery that doesn't end when you've just beaten the game. So I guess there'll always be a place for that kind of thing with these kinds of games, as long as people are willing to dig back and, you know, master the systems as they were imagined when they were first designed. So I guess that's a good thing. I mean, if I didn't think it was worth doing to go back and experience stuff like that, I wouldn't be doing this series. I'm just gonna go ahead and save state. Whoops. Oh well. But I'm not gonna say I don't have a very modern approach to my thinking about these games. Let's face it, even if I wasn't doing a Let's Play of this, I probably still would save state. I feel like this game could be worth mastering if, honestly, if it didn't have the lily pads. I think that's the main thing. The jumping mechanics, if they were just excised completely, this game would be a little bit more worth it. But that just feels like too bullshit and really too detached from the core mechanics to really be satisfying. And it's so high stakes for being that separate from the rest of the game. It's just really not a good fit. And you know, to an extent, I feel like you know, some people might lament our modern expectations about accessibility and stuff like that, but I think that when you kind of have to subject a game to that kind of analysis and that kind of like playability, I don't know how to handle these things. It really helps to reveal flaws in the gameplay that you might have just kind of glossed over if you're like, well, it's supposed to be hard. And ultimately, even games that follow that kind of design sensibility are better for it, like, you know, Toho and even stuff like La Milana, which I will say some good things about, I guess. I don't know what to do about these black blobs. I swear to God, this is pretty bullshit. But yeah, so I feel like I should just turn this into like a game design like talk podcast, because that's what I end up doing most of the time. It's you know, I guess disadvantage of featuring games like this is they're a little thin on content. I mean, there's not a lot to say about it, but I managed to use it as an interesting jumping off point, and that's definitely something that I can definitely get invested in and produce entertainment from, hopefully. I guess that's not for me to judge. What? Ooh, jeez. Yeah, this is a I think if you're gonna go like old school scrolling shooters, you could definitely do better than this. It's not terrible, but it's kind of a middle of the road game. And I do have a soft spot for it, both because I grew up with it and because there aren't really this many games with. I'm trying to think if there are any like scrolling shooter games with like this kind of theming. I don't know. There's something to be said for that kind of unique combination of elements, even if it is, you know, just cosmetic to the experience. Oh man, and actually the design of those like skeleton dragons, like skeleton lizard things, is actually pretty cool. That's actually fairly awesome, I would say. I'll vouch for that particular element. Whew, there we go. We are doing all right by cheating, but you know, that is truly what gaming archaeology is about. You know, better gaming through cheating to fit everything I want into a half-hour episode. And I mean, to be honest, if I saw the ending of this game in this episode, which Jesus I used up my entire swear allowance back in Evo, so gonna have to not do that. Oh, come on. You just get so screwed over. You really need the best weapon to take those things, because it's actually, you can't really see just watching, but the fireballs are actually an auto shot, so they're ridiculously powerful. Come on. Oh, I hate this. If I beat the game before the timer's up, then I might just have to end up making this a shit. I think that, I don't remember when I last save stated, so I think I'm going to save state here, because we have a good number of lives. Come on. There's just no winning. There's no winning there. There really isn't. We should kill the bats. We should kill the Batman. Wait, I thought you were guys gonna... Shit. Using up all my... I'm not gonna have any swears. I'm gonna go negative into my swear allowance by the end of the month. Yeet. Come on. Give me a break. I don't know. I'm actually split on whether it's funnier to avoid swearing or not. I feel like I don't know. I'm the kind of person who can be a little bit more conservative about it, so that when I do swear, it's funnier. Or at least that's what I feel about it. You might disagree. I don't know, because you're in the future right now. Shit. But really, that one was, these swears are just for me. I need to, they do come in from, how does it, I guess they come in from like the opposite side that you're standing. But yeah, everyone needs to let off steam. We're all adults here. If you're not an adult, you, fuck! Actually, I don't care if you're an adult or not. How old do you have to be to hear that F word? I don't know. If you're young enough not to hear the F word, then you should probably be asking your parents if you should be watching this. How? I don't know. People are gonna disagree. I don't know. I hold the belief that it doesn't really matter that much if kids swear, except that it embarrasses adults. So, I mean, what does it actually hurt? I mean, I knew swears as a kid. I didn't use them for the most part because you get in trouble, but I mean, like, what does it actually fucking fuck? This might be what stops me from beating this by the end of the episode. You know, I think I'm gonna go a little heavier on the abuse. I'm gonna keep this. We're gonna come out of this. We're gonna come out of this with the... What even are those? I kind of want to call them butterflies. Come on. You literally can't. You literally can't do it. Like I was pressing that as like I guess if you have task reflexes you probably could, but like just plain old button mashing, like it's not even like you have to mash fast because obviously there's a bullet limit like there is in all old shooting games. So you actually have to time out your mashes so that you mash as you are... Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and save state here. You have to mash as... Yeah, I know. I'm getting real... God damn it. You know what? Never mind. Oh, we're right in front of the boss cave. Oh, nice. Okay. I think we can probably work with that. I'm just gonna become known as a big fat cheater on my channel. Really, I don't want to cheat on most games, but games like this can really hold you up if you aren't willing to bend the rules a little bit. I mean, you've seen me play. I don't usually use save states this much. It's not such a big deal mostly. You know, the bosses are really footnotes in this game. That's kind of a weird aspect of it. Like they're just like nothing to them. I don't even know why this guy has so much health. Give me a break, dude. Oh, come on. Are you gonna die or what? Am I even doing damage? Jeez. Give me a break. Oh, I think I'll save state. What? This is new. Or at least I think this is new. I don't know if I've ever seen this before. I have a bad feeling about where this is going. Game, no, stop, no. What? No, stop it, please. Are you more of this? Are you really? Is this necessary? Is it necessary? Is it truly? You know, I'm not gonna break that flower because it might be a boot, and then that's gonna really make my life difficult. That was a bit of a mispress. Game, we do not need this. We do not. I don't. What are you? This many lily pads? Come on, weapon. No, don't really want more speed right now. Yeah. I like this song though. That's real nice actually. That's some good NES track right there. What does the meat do? It doesn't give me an extra heart, does it? Ooh. No, we're gonna cheat more. I swear it's for a good cause. Winning. Oh, come on. Welp. That's another save state. Jeez. You're killing me here. I may have picked up too many boots. Alright, well, let's do this. This looks like fun, doesn't it? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. It's a good thing that substituting background tiles for sprites never affects the gameplay, right? Because moving in chunks of 8 pixels really makes it easy to follow this shit. Oh, no, come on. That's just straight up bullshit. And that's that's like literally like straight up technical limitations bullshit right there. Yeah, that's no good. That's no good. This game really does not just the platforming is not good. I literally don't know why it's in here. Weapon? Come on, give me a break here. That'll do. Is this the final boss? I swear there were only 4 stages in this game. That's very clearly what I remember. Is it? This is just the first boss again, right? But it, how does this work exactly? Maybe there's 5 levels, or is there 6? I don't know. I actually don't know. Somehow I got it in my head that there are exactly 4 levels, and I don't actually know where that assumption came from, so I guess we'll find out right now. 4, 2. Okay. Wait, how is this 4-2? Is it... This is interesting. Okay, so this is, I guess these like 3 themes are going to loop, but these are all like definitely differently designed levels. We're not just starting over. I I wonder how far I want to go. Okay, so we're definitely gonna run out of time before we beat the game. Is this game beatable? Is there a game? Is there a beat to game? That's not a thing. I kind of want to find out. I might just like see if I can beat this after I finish this episode, because I'm really curious now. Come on, Jesus Christ! Oh boy, quicksand is bullshit. Memorizing the location of spots on the ground that instantly kill you isn't fun. Oh my god, this is fucking chaos. Honestly, let's go no save states. Let's just, from here on, I'm just gonna get as far as I can with my current lives. Oh, we're starting the stage. Oh, you know what? Fuck it. That's not interesting enough. It sent us all the way back here. Yeah, I think we can probably just call it here. I think you've gotten a pretty good idea of this game. In conclusion, it's all right. Regardless of the fact that we're kind of getting into more content than I expected here, I believe this to be a short game. And really, I mean, you've seen like the quicksand, the lily pads. It's really not worth a fair investment of your time to master this game, in my honest assessment. It's not bad. It does not offend the sensibilities in any way with its game design or anything. Okay, that's not true. With that part, it does. But really, the main thing is just that it's a little too thin, I think, for modern sensibilities. It is the kind of thing you can't speedrun it though, because it's got a fixed scroll rate. I don't know. I think it could be a small fun game to master, or at least it would be if it weren't for the bullshit. You can see I'm really having a hard time. Like there's a core of me. There's a pit deep within my heart and soul that wants to say this is a good game. There's just something in me that just can't let go of this game from my childhood. But when I really look at it objectively, it's I mean, I'm smart enough and old enough to tell the difference between quality and just pure liquid nostalgia. If this game doesn't mean anything to you, I don't know if you'd really have much of a reason to play it. It means something to me, and I don't really have much of a reason to play it for more than an hour or so, I guess. And it just beats the crap out of you. Holy shit. Is that a genuine game over? No, we have 0 lives yet. I said I was gonna wrap up, but then I kept going because I had a long wrap up. Yeah, so that's the Adventures of Dino Riki. In conclusion, yeah. I think I'm gonna figure out what game I'm gonna play next, and of course, next up we're gonna see more Bewitched. So stick around, and I will see you next week.